love it. Thank you so much, Seth. I'm so stoked. Okay. You guys are going to love this next one because they have dialed into it in the US and internationally. Evan and Dr. Melissa Esguerra, like amazing people that I just love to be with and do. And they are creating so much good in the world. Evan and Melissa, share your story. Amazing Blue Diamonds founders in the Philippines as well.
Hi, everyone. How do I make it on our screen?
Okay. I think that's good.
Okay. All right, so my name's Evan Esguerra. This is my wife, Melissa Esguerra. So we didn't come, when we started doTERRA, we did not come from hard times, right? So we weren't living in a van, we weren't near homeless. Our Fortune 500 company did not come to a crashing halt, right? We were doing okay, but we just were not free. So I owned an MMA gym that was pretty successful. It was okay, but what I had to do was I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to get to the gym by 6:30 for our 7 a.m. class. And then I was there all throughout the day. Then I stayed until the class that ended at 8:30 to come home by like 9 p.m. So my days went from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I was exhausted.
And for me, I pursued my passion of natural medicine. I had a really busy functional medicine center in San Mateo, San Francisco Bay Area. And, you know, when I first met Evan and we started dating, one of the biggest conversations we had that made me know that he was going to be my guy was we were just graduating college and we said that we were going to pursue our passions. And that was going to be how we created income for our lives. And what was interesting is we were able to do that. And Evan and I are both we're driven individuals, we're entrepreneurs at heart, and we were able to create what many would consider like the ultimate vision of success in both of these fields, in the gym and fitness industry, in the natural medicine, chiropractic industry. And yet a couple of years into that, we were looking at each other like, is this the life that we chose? We were barely seeing each other. I commuted 2 hours every single day. Evan used to go through, how many tanks of gas in a week?
Oh, like 3.
3 tanks of gas in a week plus bridge toll. We were hamsters on a wheel. And so when doTERRA came into my life, I actually failed to recognize the brilliance and the opportunity that was really there. I'm somebody that snubbed the oils for well over a year, and I am so grateful for Joy Bernstein, who's on this call, who was so patient in sharing the oils with me. And so if you're somebody that's, you know, either somebody that's been pestered by someone with essential oils, or maybe you're somebody that has a business that they're passionate about in the field that they love, that they went to school and studied vigilantly around, know that doTERRA doesn't have to replace that income completely. It doesn't have to replace your current business if you don't want it to. I know that for me, when I first started, when Evan first started with doTERRA, we were interested in what it was offering, but we weren't at a point where we wanted to walk away from our businesses. We didn't feel safe in doing that yet. And so if that's you listening to this call, know that you can come in and create doTERRA in whatever space you have available right now. In fact, doTERRA is this beautiful platform that is inviting you to marry the current passions that you have with what doTERRA is offering.
So one thing that I think about all the time is one way to kill your passion very quickly is turn your passion into a business. So, I mean, I'm totally passionate about jiu-jitsu and about fighting and the fighting arts. And our plan that she talked about earlier was, I had a plan where I'm gonna make a business where I break people and then you fix them. And then we'll go back and forth. Like, it's gonna be so awesome.
That was not the business.
Right? That was my plan, right? But one thing was like, the gym business it was doing good, but it wasn't doing super awesome. Like if I wanted to turn it up at all, I had to put in more time, right? So we started asking ourselves, what could it be like to make, I mean, we're making okay money, but what could it be like to add a little more on it? What would we have to do, right? And what would we have to do to duplicate, right? So for me, I started thinking about like, well, I would have to duplicate myself, right? Do they have a machine like that where you could put yourself in and make another one of you so I could run a second gym or a third, right? And then Melissa started thinking about that same idea with the clinic, but it kind of didn't really make sense. So that's kind of where doTERRA came with the questioning. That's kind of where doTERRA came in here, right? We were thinking about how we can make more money, what leverage income would even look like, how would we duplicate, and then we started looking a little deeper into doTERRA, like if doTERRA was a legitimate source, like what would happen if we put all that firepower that we're putting into two different businesses, what if we put that into doTERRA? So
and so initially what that looked like for me, I was working 60 hours a week. Honestly, you guys, that looked like 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. And then over time, once we were able to create a little bit of additional income, I could take an extra hour off of my schedule to see patients because I was truly trading time for dollars. And so when we were able to make that little bit of extra money, I cut back a little bit more at my clinic and I was working 2 hours a day, 5 days a week with doTERRA. And it was with that religious and committed schedule that we were able to get to Diamond in doTERRA. And once that happened, I had the luxury to finally ask myself, do I want to step back from my clinic? And to be honest, that clinic was such a gift. I'm so grateful to so many of my patients. I still get to practice now digitally, but in a more like, I only work 4 hours a week in that clinic online. And doTERRA really invited me to dream bigger. Like, you don't have to pay rent at a brick and mortar business. You don't have to commute 2 hours a day. You can work in whatever way you want it to look like. And it's been really awesome because we've been able to really tailor make our life. We thought that we were coming into that vision with our previous companies, but we realized that those companies were limited in what they could offer us in terms of creation for the life that we really saw for ourselves. And so that's been really a gift for Evan and I, not just in business, but really in our relationship. Like, I think that I didn't realize it, but as a couple, we weren't capable of asking one another, what do you want? Because we were in such a state of survival. We were constantly doing the grind, and we were scared to stop and look around and think, well, what else? Well, doTERRA really allowed us to do that. And so if you're somebody that's brand new right here on the brink, I loved the question that somebody posed a couple of presenters ago, where do you see yourself in 2 years? And once you have that vision, create something physical that you can look at. I used to think that vision boards were ridiculous. You guys, every vision board I've ever created has come true. It's been insane. So get together with your family, with your spouse or your partner and your children and dream big, and then dive deep into the doTERRA vehicle, because it really is a vehicle that you can take to create whatever you want, whether it's doTERRA as a second stream of income, or maybe in the future as a full-on replacement of income. All of it is possible.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely think about that. Where would you want to be in 2 years? You think about where you would want to work, what you would want to do, where would you want to live, what would you want to wear, things like this, right? So one thing about the last few months in quarantine and shelter in place is that we've kind of seen how it is to come back home and be rested, eat dinners at home, have home cooked meals, be able to bond with your family, and have the time and energy to pursue your passions, right? And doTERRA makes it possible for you to live the best parts of shelter in place every day.
Yeah. So you go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, so some of you have things to think about, some decisions to make, right? And some of you have made this decision like half an hour ago, right? You're ready to buy your kit right now, right? So for those people, right, we have something for you. Kai and Zia next will tell you how to get started, right? And I look forward to seeing you very close in person, shake your hand in some time, very soon, right? But for the people who are on the brink and not yet made a decision, I just have one more story for you, is that Mark Zuckerberg, if you don't know who that is CEO of Facebook, right? So 16 years ago, he invited 5 people to his college dorm room, right? And 2 of them showed up. 3 of them missed out, right? So the two that showed up, Dustin Moskovitz and Edward Samarin are now billionaires, right? So the three people that didn't show up made a billion dollar mistake, right? And that was something that they'll learn from and they'll remember for the rest of their life, but we should also remember that, right? So the people, the person, the family or friend that invited you to this call saw something special in you, right? And I just invite you to have an open enough mind and open enough heart to see that specialness in yourself. And when you look deeper into this company,
it can really be a great vehicle for you. Absolutely.
Yeah. And,
so thanks you guys for hearing us out.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, I love that invitation to literally just show up for yourself because you're worth it. And there's all these things that tell us, hey, you're not worthy, you're not da da da, but the truth is there's brilliance in you. And